not the end of the world because you can build it back here. Oh, what a jump. And the 3-piece too. I think Remi's decision making on defense is really great too. That burst sucked. I'm sorry. I feel like I retroactively did that. That burst was ass. I feel that though. We've all been there. Oh boy.
Hey everyone, Remi here. Are you tired of getting embarrassed and getting your burst baited? Don't be like me and learn how to burst smartly. First, avoid bursting after an opponent does a jump cancelable move. Jump cancelable moves are attacks that, on hit or block, can be cancelled into a jump. Once they jump, they can instantly block because they are no longer stuck in the attack. A common way of baiting bursts in Guilty Gear is to use a jump cancelable move and then instantly jumping and holding back to block any coming burst. This doesn't cost any resources, so it's common for an opponent to try this. Generally, characters can only jump cancel from their standing kick and close slash moves. Recognize what these attacks look like for each character and avoid bursting during these attacks. Second, avoid bursting right after you get counter hit and put into slowdown. In Strive, if you get counter hit by a slash or heavy slash attack, the game slows down and you're stuck reeling from the attack longer. Fighting game nerds call this hit stun. This opens you up to new combos that hurt much more. This means two things. You'll feel tempted to immediately burst here to avoid the huge damage coming your way. And the slowdown gives your opponent the time to really think about how to bait your burst in the safest, most efficient way possible. You're often going to hear experienced players talk about how this is an obvious place to burst. Fight against your instincts and don't burst immediately after getting counter hit. Third, avoid bursting on moves that automatically avoid bursts. This is more character specific and something you best learn from experience, but something you should be aware of so you can recognize it. Some moves in Guilty Gear shrink the area that the character can be hit, also known as the hitbox. Bursts don't instantly come out, and they also launch your character upwards. Players have learned to use moves that shrink their hitbox in their combos to avoid their opponent's burst and guarantee damage. A classic example is Mei's crouching heavy slash. Because this move shrinks her hitbox and the player bursting is launched slightly upwards, if you try to burst right before this move or when it hits you, Mei will not get hit by the burst. Some special moves, like Axel Snail, will shrink their hitbox backwards, so at many distances, you can't burst these moves either. Finally, some moves, mostly kick and punch moves in Guilty Gear, recover so fast that even if you burst after you get hit, if they do nothing but hold back, your opponent will block your burst. We talked a lot about how not to burst, so let's talk about the safest way to burst. Generally, the best way to burst is by doing it in the middle of your opponent's attack, right before getting hit. Usually you want to do these before special moves, not normal moves like kick, punch, slash, or heavy slash, because special moves are slower to come out and connect. If you react to the attack coming out, you can burst right before the move hits you pretty consistently. This is hard to bait because your opponent would need 50 meter to do a Roman cancel to cancel their move and block. A Roman cancel in this position is really expensive and risky, because if they do it in the middle of a move instead of when it connects, they get a purple Roman cancel instead of a red Roman cancel. Red Roman cancels create a pulse that launches the opponent up into the air, which will help continue a combo. Purple Roman cancels do not hit the opponent, so if they use this to bait your burst and you didn't fall for it, your combo either ends or they end up with a much worse combo. Because it's such an expensive, inefficient bait to go for, and your opponent must also have 50 meter to even consider it, as a general rule, this is the safest way to burst out of a combo. That's risky and safe bursting in a nutshell. Is there any other common bursting mistakes I missed? Any other advice you want to give about bursting? Feel free to share in the comments and let me know. I also stream every week and my schedule is posted on Twitter every Monday. Links are in the description. This is Remi, signing off.